Welcome to Wigglesticks TV. Now 98's about to go in for a dyno tune and some new plugs and to reconnect the power commander back up to it. And then I'm also going to get the injectors clean because I noticed a bunch of kind of fuel sort of material around this throttle body here, so the guys are just going to service that as well. So hopefully they can get to the bottom of what that yeah, it's a little bit of fuel over on the back of this as well. So yeah, I think O-rings or something like that is just leaking a bit of fuel somewhere around there. So the bike pulled out 109 horsepower on the dyno. The power commander ended up being faulty, so they couldn't do a dyno tune on there. So it's running way too rich at the moment. So I'm just going to order a power commander 5 and then take it back and they can do the tuning on it. So yeah, now it's just going to sit around being a little bit rich for a while until the new power commander comes back and it can be retuned. I'm about to do a little modification to the 98. I've got this set of K4 Gsxr 1000 forks with the radial calipers. That's the main reason I'm changing to get to radial calipers. So I've got new lines and new hardware coming. This fender is the one I had off the 2001 Gsxr front end. I think it'll bolt okay at the front. It just needs a different mounting hole or adapter or something made at the back, which I think I can fix. I'm not going to use these triples. I'm going to use the SRAD Tripples, so I don't have to worry about changing the ignition around and the steering stops and everything, because the 98 is my road going bike. So I'm going to run this master cylinder and these, and then I'll run new lines and everything to it. Don't need the clip-ons obviously. So the next stage is I'm going to pull this all apart, and then I'm going to take the forks down and get the fork oil and everything changed in them. I don't think they need seals or anything, but I'll just get them looked at and then start to put it all back together. Well, progress has been made. My braided lines showed up from hell, which is pretty cool. So I've got them on the calipers, ready to go and attached to the master cylinder. Literally just waiting for my forks to arrive back from servicing, which should be later on today, and then we'll get around to putting these on the bike. I'm pretty sure these are the right way, but I'll have to just double check when I actually get them on the when I actually get the bike and everything together. But I think they're on the right way. It should work out quite nicely. So I've got new pads coming. Yeah, so getting closer. I just need the forks to show up now, which hopefully I'll get a call later on today. Well, we have some progress. Some good things and some tweaks that we need to do. So what we have here is the K4 1000 forks in the frame. In the bike. They're sitting in the standard SRAD triple clamps and the SRAD standard clip-ons, handlebars here. I have the K4 master cylinder on it at the moment, but it won't be staying there because you have a bit of a clearance issue with the banjo bolts running into the switch block here. And then also when you turn the handlebars on full lock over to this side, the edge of the brake lever hits the dash, so that is not great. The other little issue that I had was the spacers. So I'm running a 320mm disc on here, and I ordered these spacers off eBay or something, which lets you push the discs out a little bit further, but they came with a little ridge on the end here, which you can see. So I just took them over to my mate's place and he just put them on the lathe and just got rid of that little the protruding bit on the outside. So now these fit flushly on there, and I can run the calipers with the 320mm discs just by spacing these out by 10 mils. The other thing, so with the master cylinder, I'm going to either switch to a Brembo master cylinder, a 19 by 18 I think is the one. I'll put a picture up of the one I'm probably getting, or in the meantime I will just run the standard SRAD brake lever and master cylinder, because these banjo bolts on the SRAD one come out the front, and obviously there's no clearance issues or anything with that. So kind of getting there slowly. It's looking good. So I'll just do a test fit of the brake calipers and just see how they look with the spacers in there, and yeah, then we'll get around with playing with the master cylinder. There we go. Just temporarily get all this stuff in there now, but you can see, yeah, you can see we have K4 calipers, K4 fork lowers, 10mm spacer. You'll notice that this supposedly K4 fender is actually off a K1 because they're slightly different on the back here. So I'll just make a little plate up or something to bridge that gap. We'll see if the wreckers have got one, but it'll do for now. So I'll just go ahead and do the same process on the other side, and then we'll have both of the... Well, they're both on. 2 sets of calipers on there. Forks are in. I'll just figure out what I'm going to do with the master cylinder now, and I'm waiting for, I've got my wheel over there, but I'm waiting for some rotor bolts, which hopefully will be here tomorrow. I've got all the spacers and everything, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that all went in there. I've just got to go around and torque the bolts in here, and then I can probably put all the fairing back on relatively shortly, because I don't really need that off anymore. The other thing I did change the other day was I put some Woodcraft foot pegs on there, away from the standard ones. No real reason other than I could, and I kind of like the feel of those a bit more than the fold back ones that come standard. Yeah. So we're getting there. Progress, I mean. So in terms of the setup you need to run the K4 forks in the SRAD with the SRAD top yokes and triple clamps, you need to run the SRAD axle and the SRAD wheel spacer, because the spacing's different between the SRAD and the K4 triples. So you can see the axle itself is a bit longer, and then also the wheel spacer at the end is, actually that's the wrong, the wheel spacer at the end, as you can see on screen, this is both out of a K4. The one on screen, you can see the difference of about 4mm or whatever it is between the K4 axle spacer and the SRAD axle spacer. Then you also need to run, so then the wheel will go in fine, but your discs won't be, so they'll go in fine, but then the discs won't be centered. So you need to run a disc spacer. So here we have an SRAD wheel. The disc spacer goes on there, and then you bolt your disc on top, and then that spaces out the wheel in the front end so that the rotors will be in the center of the calipers. Well, that's the theory anyway. So I've got some new rotors I'm going to run on here, so I think I'll probably get around to doing that next, putting the discs on. I'm toying with changing the wheel bearings. There's the cat Rudy. guess I may as well do them as I've got the wheel completely off. And then I also took the red tape that someone had put around the edge off, which was quite a painful job, but I think it'll look good in the end. So yeah, I'll probably change the wheel spacer at the wheel bearings next, and then everything will be ready to go back in the front. But yeah, you need to run these. You need to run these 2 mil, 2.5 mil spacers in between your discs if you're going to run them with the radial calipers. So the old SRAD is pretty much done now. Wheels and everything, brakes from the K4 are on. Taking it for a quick little spin. The weather's finally okay today, so I'll go for a bit more of a spin in a minute, but it felt pretty good. Actually, it felt really good. It felt much better than before. Radial master cylinder is definitely a great upgrade, I think, and then radial brakes and everything as well. I wish they weren't those wavy kind of discs, but that's all I could really invest in this one at the moment. It's just for the road, so I think they'll be okay in the long run. Genuine Suzuki pads, and yeah, she's all pretty much done, I think. Not really sure what else I'm going to do to this particular bike. Probably not too much. Famous last words though. But yeah, I think the front end and everything is much better now. Much better than it was before, and yeah, nice and beefy looking. And I guess the only thing I may do in the future is look for some Brembo calipers, but I think at the moment, yeah, we'll see how this little setup goes, but I can highly recommend it so far. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.